Хөрхөн охид trap сонсон. Trap сонсон, trap донсон. Түүний сонсдог хөгжим дур булаан. Дагаж дуулан дур булаа мууруулаа.
Hey, everyone, welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted podcast. It's going to be a great show today. We got Dean McDermott in the house.
Hey.
Dean's an MMA fan, TV star, reality star, actor. Dad.
Today I'm dad.
Trains jiu-jitsu and has 7 kids. I came over to your house the other day to help you with comedy. There was literally 6 kids surrounding me. It was like a cult of kids. And it was pretty awesome. But I was like, wow, you have your hands full.
I know, it's crazy, man. And T's been working, so I'm going solo with all 5 kids.
They all seem pretty nice, though. Like, they all
good
seem
kids.
like really like just like, and you were like cursing around them, but they were like smart kids. Like, they just were kind of cool kids. Like,
I was brought up the same way. I mean, my dad swore like a truck driver, and we didn't make it sacred. So I believe if you make something taboo and sacred, they're gonna want to do it anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Even more. So I just swear.
No, you were
them.
yourself.
And so far, knock on wood, none of the kids have been sent home for swearing at school or anything like that.
It seemed like they were all way above your years.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Which
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you. I mean, that's a compliment. Like that's what parents want to hear. Is like your kids are super bright and they seem smarter than their age.
They all did. They all seemed like they were looking at me like I was an idiot. Like they were smart.
Well,
I know, but like I mean,
if the shoe fits.
Well, I come over to your house, and then you weren't there yet, and I'm sitting with your daughter, who must be, I don't know, she like, how old is she?
She's 9.
She's 9, and then your baby who's 1, and I'm playing with your baby, and your daughter has her headphones on. I'm like, hey, how's it going? And she's like, you're a loser. She just looked at me like I was totally not cool, and she had her headphones on, didn't even look up, and I was like this weirdo. I'm like, I'm here to teach your dad jokes. It was just so.
So he said.
Yeah, but then once we started hanging out, then her face lit up, and then she accepted me. So that was cool.
The one thing that I'm really proud of, all of them, they have a great sense of humor. And then Liam laid some jokes on you.
Yes, he had his joke book out. He would not stop telling me the most disgusting jokes I've ever heard in my life.
Blue, really blue. 10. He's 10.
And he's got timing. His timing is really good. His timing is everything. So and then of course we got Joe the Kid Perez, or Weendawg as we call it.
Yeah.
Weendawg. and CB.
What's up, guys?
And Bo, which is Dean's 1-year-old, is here as well. I want to thank our sponsor, Speedweed. Listen, people. Marijuana is legal in California. A lot of people use it to help, to recover, to relax.
Bo's using it right now.
Yeah,
he's using marijuana right now because he was nervous doing the show. And look at him.
Yeah, now he's like he knows the alphabet already.
Cool as a cucumber.
So. Why have to go outside and go to a dispensary and run into people you don't like and yada yada, and you go into a dispensary and there's too much options. It's like you're there and there's some cute bud tender and she's got you in a trance. Listen, get it delivered, okay? Don't even leave your place. You go to speedweed.com, they will bring it to you, whether it's CBD oil, whether it's vapes, whatever it is, they will come to you. Mention Roasted, you get $10 off anything over $100 or more. I know there was a girl, Andrea, yesterday at the Dime Bar, slipped and fell. She hurt herself. I go, don't worry, I got the perfect thing. I got CBD roll-on. And then she's like, oh my God, I feel so much better now. So some of you old people, I know guys like me, I'm not what I once was in the wrestling mat. So CBD oil has been like my new best friend.
It's my new best friend too.
I saw you doing some sprawls on video the other day, and you still got it.
I still got the sprawls. The thing is though, when I go to wrestle with the high school kids or wrestle with people my age, it's like my mind knows what to do, but my body just does not follow anymore. And
I'm exactly like that with ice hockey. I play twice a week, and I've got the mind and the head for the game of a 19-year-old, but a body of a 52-year-old. And it's just, I know what I want to do, but my body just
that's the hardest thing, because when you're 19, you don't have the mind of a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
When you're 19, you have a mind of a 10-year-old. Yeah. But when you're I can see where the move is, and then speed also. Speed used to be my biggest thing with speed. I was able to outquick everybody, and now my speed is gone. And that's they say power is the last thing to go, speed's the first thing to go, which is why guys like Foreman and Tyson and guys can keep fighting forever. But yeah, so that was crazy. So I talked about it. I was able to finally announce that we're having a daughter. Very excited about that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats, man.
I talked about how my wife wanted a daughter. I wanted a son, so I could teach him how to fight and wrestle. So hopefully, my daughter will be a lesbian. But
dude, my daughter Stella, she's great at any sport she tries. I put her in hockey gear. She's a great hockey player. Jiu-jitsu, she was fantastic. MMA, she's fantastic.
Really?
So, yeah.
How old is she?
She's 9.
And you have her doing jiu-jitsu still?
I started her at 4.
Wow.
In MMA with Boz Rutan at his place, Elite Fitness out in Thousand Oaks. I got her started with MMA there, and then I took her over to Jean-Jacques Machado's for jiu-jitsu, and she's a natural born athlete.
I think that's the thing to do. I think just from coaching, when girls join the wrestling team, they are so much better off. They're just like, they know how to defend themselves, but also you just see the way they carry themselves. I think having put girls in jiu-jitsu, boxing, I don't want to mess up her face, but...
And I think the thing about girls, there's a big difference between boys and girls, you notice. I mean, boys are kind of bonkers, and then they chill out when they're older, and girls are very cerebral, very smart. So jiu-jitsu and MMA and stuff like that, the whole chess match, it plays into a female's...
So what's the best advice you can give me as a upcoming parent, first-time parent of someone who's had 7?
But 6.
Six.
Stop it.
6.
6. The best advice I can give you, people ask me all the time because I do have so many kids, trust your instincts. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and they're going to tell you. They're going to give you unsolicited. They're going to tell you what they think you should do, what you should buy, what you should have, and just take it with a grain of salt, but trust your instincts. That's thousands of years of genetic coding. Like your paternal instincts will kick in. Your wife's maternal instincts will kick in. Trust your instincts, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
the best advice I can give you.
I like it. I'm excited about it. But over the weekend, my wife, she has to be very grandiose. Like she even said she was a C-section. She's like, I had to make a grand entrance. That was her joke.
Does she leave the house by the window?
Yeah, right. Exactly. So she wanted, I wanted to just be like, hey, guess what? My wife's pregnant, but she wanted to make this like video on Instagram. It had to be this like.
That's what the Malibu video.
Yeah, the Malibu video. So she's like, what do you think the video should be? Which don't ask a comic that, because I'm like, all right, here's what I think the video should be. All right, I'll be like, hey, guess what? She's pregnant, and this one we're keeping. That was that was one, and then baby drops 2018. The other one was like, I know you guys think that she's getting chubby. It's because she's been eating this dick. It's like baby drops.
You don't make babies with your mouth.
No, no, none of those. None of those.
I'm surprised you even got your wife pregnant. Honestly,
no, none of those worked. Instead, we did this like. First of all, I have like a cold. I was getting sick. I did not want to leave the house, but my wife's like, all right, we'll go to the beach. So now I'm like, my feet are in the ocean. I'm just like, oh, come on. We're walking. We're holding hands.
They were beautiful pictures.
She writes, it's a girl.
I didn't get the whole baby thing about it.
Oh, the video? You get the video?
I didn't see the video.
Oh, you guys
I just saw the pictures.
No, the video. You see the video. She writes,
video.
It's a girl in like the, and then I'm like holding her belly. It's like a whole production now.
Did you hire like a director to do that?
Yes, we hired a girl I know who like edits. Okay. We did a whole thing. It was yeah, it was really sweet.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what she wanted.
It gets more elaborate if you guys have more than one kid. Like with him, we had our friends Bill and Scout come over, the Gunkles, and we went out with the kids and they decorated a Christmas tree for us, either pink or blue. So when we came home, they flicked on the Christmas tree lights, and it was either blue or pink for a girl.
Wow.
Some people.
What if it was a blackout? That would be horrible.
Flashlights.
Everyone would be there.
But I've seen, it's really cool. I saw somebody. It was Eric Carlson of the Ottawa Senators to find out the sex of the baby. That you have golf balls that you can get when you hit them, they explode pink or blue.
Oh my god!
That's how he found out.
This is now where it's going now.
They've come up with like everything you can think of in the whole world for a baby reveal now.
Oh my god!
It's insane.
Pretty soon it's gonna be that someone's gonna hang themselves. If they turn blue, it's a boy. It's a red.
It's called Logan Paul.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, how about this? My video. I'll just be looking at my wallet, crying. Like that got nothing either.
Or like some weird Saw thing where you have to like cut open your friend's stomach to find the blue or pink ribbon.
That would be hilarious. Or like the porno edition, whether if you jizz, it's white. Or I don't know how you'd make blue. Anyway, but yeah,
Adam, I'd like to play a game.
That's horrible. So now, but Valentine's Day is tomorrow. What are you doing for Tori?
Geez, I don't know. I've got to go and buy 125 Valentines for the kids, just to get them through Valentine's Day.
For school.
Yeah, for school. So
wow.
I don't know. You can't have the microphone, dude.
125.
125 Valentine's.
They have to give everybody in the class a Valentine's.
Everybody, yeah.
Oh my god.
Wait, they've gotten to that point now where it's like.
Oh yeah. No, and that's been for a while. That's been like kindergarten.
The school's out of control now.
Yeah.
I was watching Tucker Carlson. I actually like Tucker. I'm not a Republican, but Tucker is hilarious. And they're trying to get rid of the concept of best friend now.
What?
They're saying best friends is you don't include people that aren't your best friend in school. So there's a woman now trying to say, and then did you hear about the rabbit yesterday? Peter the rabbit. Peter the rabbit. People are saying that like there's a scene in the rabbit where they were throwing blueberries at her, and the rabbit is allergic to blueberries. Mm-hmm. So they're saying that's allergy bullying.
Oh my god!
So people are protesting Peter the rabbit because of allergy bullying going on.
Oh my god!
I mean,
really?
it's gotten
in the whole invitation thing. Like my sister has twin boys. And they're in 2 different classes now. So their birthday party, of course, is the same day. And they have to invite everybody in each class. So instead of 10 kids at Sky High down the street, she's got to invite 45, 50 kids to this thing. It's like we don't even like most of them. Like one of them was bullying both my nephews. And I'm like, and we have to invite this kid
this
to the
whole
birthday party?
including everybody is it's too much. You have to not include people. You should be able to have a best friend. Peter the rabbit, you know what? He gets bullied. So what? He goes out and beats up the bullies. That's a great rabbit story right there.
It's like the whole participation award thing
I get
too.
so much flack because I'm a old school. I'm 52, and when you had a bully, the best way to cure a bully is beat the shit out of him.
Yes.
Like one day that bully is going to just pick on the wrong kid, and I've seen it so many times.
Yes.
And that kid just loses it and beats the shit out of the bully, and that bully.
It happened in my wrestling team. This little kid Ahmad, this real Russian kid, he joined the team because the bully was picking on him, and he goes, "I don't want to leave me alone." He doesn't speak English that well. He took the kid down, beat the crap out of him. My athletic director was like, "Who are you?" Join the team. Now he's the league champion, and he's killing it. That's what happened. In Forrest Gump, they were all throwing things at him, and then look what Forrest Gump accomplished.
I just hate this political correct pendulum is swung so far to the wrong side. I mean, nobody winning or losing in sports, like
the participation award thing now too. Everybody gets a trophy.
I don't get it.
It gets kids not to play sports.
Well, it also gets kids not prepared for the real world because, if they go through their entire school career thinking that they're awesome and they're great at everything, and then they go out into the real world where it's harsh and cruel, and they find out real quick, it's like, whoa, I'm not the best at this, I'm not the best at that.
You also expect someone's going to bail you out.
Yeah.
You have a thing of like, no matter how bad I do, it's okay because somebody will bail me out.
Yeah.
I'll still get a trophy.
We need adversity. We need challenges. It's like, okay, guys, you didn't win. You weren't the best defenseman. You weren't the best grappler. You got to work harder. Yep. You got to work harder.
And it's also a fake talking rabbit, too, we're talking about.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, speaking of dysfunction, Joe, you said you had a story for us this week. What's going on?
You already want to get into it?
Yes, let's get into it. Then we'll talk about fighting.
Oh, man. It's been a weird week, dude.
The Russian girl?
That's old news,
You
dog.
found a Russian girl?
No.
I made sweet love to a Russian girl.
Oh, my
All right.
goodness. Okay.
But that's old news.
That he
dude.
met on Tinder.
That's old news.
Oh, okay. So what happened?
So basically,
She
I
got
saw a picture of
deported.
her. She had a great Adam's apple.
oh my god.
Oh,
You did well.
So basically, earlier on in the week, I matched with this girl on Bumble.
Yep.
Right. And she's very beautiful, and we're talking for a little bit, and then she just out of nowhere, she drops the ball, dude. She says that she has like a 4-year-old kid.
Okay.
She says
40-year-old kid?
A 4-year-old.
Four.
Kid.
Okay, four.
The thing is, she's 19 years old.
So she had him when she was 15.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm like, I mean, she's beautiful, she's very nice, but
So
I don't
you're
know-
dating the daughter now?
I just don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to be like a stepdad to this baby.
You haven't even met the girl yet.
I know, but that's something you got to consider.
You don't have to consider that until you marry her. Why don't
I
you
feel
just
like
actually...
you take these things way too far in advance. Of like, I don't want to be
this was the great... Well, hold on.
Been on a date
I like how
yet.
you say this is the crazy story.
It's not the crazy.
Okay, you're a guy that like bought a
She wants
machete.
to have a threesome with the baby. Like,
Okay, so just, we're gonna catch Dean up. So Joe has a history of, there was a girl that liked to have a machete held to her head during sex. So he went out and then bought a gun and got a gun and kept it under his bed. Luckily, the gun didn't go off. And then
Because you were afraid of this?
No, well, she just liked freaky stuff.
She liked freaky stuff.
and then last week he went down on a girl who was menstruating at the time.
Yeah.
And then he's got his face full of blood.
You got your Red Wings.
Yeah.
Your Red
boy.
Wings.
Atta boy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Your Red Wings.
Wow.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Well,
All right.
Detroit Red Wings.
All
but
right.
I
So
didn't-
now go on.
Didn't know it
basically-
translated.
I'm just trying to keep my options open on the dating websites. You know, I like to talk to multiple girls at once.
Right.
Before I go into a real relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thing is, literally a couple days ago,
Yep.
I matched with this girl.
Yep.
And we're talking. She's very nice. And then, like, after 30 minutes of talking, she adds me on Snapchat and she starts sending me sexy pictures, dude.
Okay. Was there a credit card info that?
No.
All right. Go on.
Did you send dick pics?
All right. So what happened?
But I'm like, I'm looking for a relationship. I'm not trying to dive deep, like head first into
Well,
sexting.
why don't you actually meet her in person?
That's what I want to do. I don't want to just
Yeah.
start a relationship off with sending nudes and
Yeah.
naked
Of
pictures.
course. So what happened?
And then so basically fast forward like 2 hours and she's saying that she wants me to take a picture of me like this is so fun.
What?
She wants me to take a picture of me like with my ass spread open.
Okay. Did you?
No.
How do you
Like-
take that picture?
Yeah. You
That's
need
my
it-
question.
you
Hey,
need it-
Dad,
Yeah.
can you come in here real
Yeah,
quick?
yeah,
Well,
Hold on.
you need a tripod.
Well, normally
Yeah.
I'm
And
the
a timer.
one. Yeah, I'm the one asking the girls to send me pictures like that.
Yeah,
And
okay.
I'm like, I've never experienced someone.
Okay.
like-
So
That's like a
yeah. Why would a girl
Preparation
want to see your
commercial.
asshole?
She's like, oh, my thing is rim jobs. I love giving dudes rim jobs, and I'm like, that's fucking disgusting.
And this is the first time talking to her.
This is the first time, the first day, the first like 3 hours.
He's 20.
20. Oh my God.
Are you 21 yet?
Oh, I am 21.
Okay. So what happened?
So I'm like, listen, I don't feel comfortable. That's very awkward, you know. And it's not the prettiest thing down there. You know, there's a lot of
Hair and stuff and.
forestation, barnacles, mushrooms,
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
Got
down
it.
there, dude.
Right. Yep.
And she's like,
Hemorrhoids.
listen. Yeah, she's like, listen. I don't care about hair. I don't care about your hemorrhoids. I don't care about anything like that. Just
You're
send
too
me
young
the video.
for Hemis.
Yeah.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, why do you even
Fiber,
care?
dude. You
Right.
need more fiber in
And
your
she's
diet.
like, listen, I need an up close, clear, like shot.
It's probably not a girl at this point.
Yeah, I was.
Are you
gonna
thinking
say,
maybe this wasn't a girl?
I don't think this person is like. I think you're being catfished.
I thought I was like about to be blackmailed.
Was she
No.
calling her name Mike?
Well, she has like multiple names. Like her Bumble name is different from her Snapchat.
Yeah.
name.
Yeah. This. Okay.
It's
Lots of
probably not-
red
it's
flags
probably
right
not a
here.
chick.
No, but she was like sending me videos on Snapchat.
Tell
of
her,
her,
doesn't
like,
mean-
tell her you have a hand fetish and get her to send a picture of your hands. If they look like mine, run away.
That's a good point. All right.
so,
Go on.
So I'm like, I don't want to do this, dude. Then she sends me a video of her masturbating, and I'm like, dude, I might have to do this.
So you did it?
No. Well, yeah.
Oh, come on. You took a picture of your asshole and then send it to her?
First, I went to the shower and did it.
Okay.
Because I thought if I was going to do it, I got to clean up a little bit. dude,
Right.
'cause that's very embarrassing.
So you sent the picture. Then what happened?
So then she's like, no. I don't want like this kind of picture. I want you to like go in your room, lay down, and like make a video.
Is your
of you-
face in it?
No.
Okay.
She's like, make a video of you laying on your back like a baby with your legs in the air, and
Right.
then spread your ass.
Okay.
I'm like, what the fuck?
What? No. What? Now, do you know where this girl lives?
Is she a proctologist?
She lives in the dorms at USC.
Okay. Yeah.
Is she studying proctology?
We have reached a new level.
All right. So okay. So
All this is going on with an 11-month-old here.
so did you
By
take the
way,
video?
You've hit a new low.
Yeah. The kid wouldn't fall for this. Okay. So did you take the video?
Yeah, I took the video.
Oh, and you sent it to her, and then
It's like a 3-minute long video I took. Dude.
3 minutes.
and then what
And
happened?
my dad was like outside my room like the entire time. Like, what the hell is he doing? I'm like, I'm laying on the floor and I have my phone, my camera recording on the floor.
I'm
Why don't you
surprised-
just have your dad take the
Yeah, I was
video?
gonna say.
There's so much wrong with this. So what happened?
No, I know that this was fucked up the entire time. I was like, this is like the craziest thing I've ever done. Or said to a woman.
Yeah.
So I sent her the video. It's nothing like serious. I'm just opening my ass for her.
Right. Okay.
And then he realized he was sending it to Jerry Sandusky.
I don't think I want to have a kid anymore. All right, go on.
So I sent it to her and she's like, wow, that's so high. She's like,
I want to put my dick in there.
she said, why is your asshole so gapey? I'm like, what?
Oh my god.
I'm like, what? And she's like, "Do you finger yourself a lot?" She's like, "Are you bisexual?" I'm like, "What?
God.
What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Yeah, I finger myself like sometimes."
No, you don't.
Wait,
You?
wait.
Wait,
I,
what?
no, you know what? Never mind.
Listen, I went through a phase when I was like going through puberty where I was like, you know what, this feels kind of good. Like when you're in the
Was
shower.
that 3 weeks ago?
He goes, what does that do with MMA? Wait, so what happened?
And so I told her about my phase. Yeah, it's like when I was growing up, like through puberty, I might like put a finger or two up in my ass just to.
Oh my God.
It's not even a big deal, you know.
Right, no big deal. Go on.
Thank God we're on the audio.
Thank you, Weendawg. So then what happened?
So then she's like, dude, that's
She. First of all, stop calling her she. At this point, can we at least
it's safe
assume
to say
this is not a she?
We can say shim.
Yeah, this is a guy.
So then she's like, yeah, then whoever this is, Zimzer, they're like,
Phil.
they're like, that's the hottest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, I must be really turning this girl on,
Yeah,
dude.
guy, go on.
And so she's like, all right, I need you to send me a video of you in the same position, laying on your back like a baby, but this time I want you to finger your asshole.
Oh my
Saying,
God,
I love you, Steve.
dude.
No, you didn't do that. You didn't do that, did you? You did that? Dude, what are you doing, bro? You're going to want to have a career one day.
Well,
In
listen,
porn, I guess.
Why are you even
So
like?
where are you posting this stuff? Because
I ain't posting it nowhere.
Oh,
dude.
no,
it is
but,
posted
like,
everywhere
No, it's
now.
where is he posting
where's
this?
he posting? Yeah, because like you can send to this person, and do you know what this person?
No
doing
idea
with
where
it?
this is
I
going.
had that in mind when I was doing it. I'm like, she's probably or
He.
he's going to post it.
when I had my fist up to my wrist to my ass, I was thinking, yeah, I really should maybe wonder about where this is going to be
What
going.
does this have to do with MMA?
I even told like, I better not see this on the Weendawg Twitter or the Weendawg Facebook.
Oh yeah, right. Okay.
No, your dad's gonna be watching.
All right. So after you, so you took a video of you fingering your butt.
It wasn't like severe. It was just like the second knuckle. But I made sure my face wasn't in it.
Anytime. Never mind.
You want to know the fucked up part,
man.
dude?
Tell Tori Spelling to not listen to this podcast.
Never mind want to know the fucked up part. He's not done yet.
All right, go on.
Yeah.
The fucked up part is
Wow, the UFC cut Johnny Hendricks. Huh? Wow. That's-
Here's the fucked up part.
The fucked up part is, I mean, it sucks, dude. I sent her the video. She's like, oh, that's the hottest thing. And she's like, I'm going to come over there on Friday. I'm going to give you a rim job. I'm going to do all this stuff to you.
Right. Okay.
And then after that night, this is all.
Mailman shows
this,
up.
Yeah, this has all happened within like a 3-hour period of me
Yeah.
matching with her on Bumble, dude.
I'm so happy I'm getting married. I'm getting married. Go,
Right?
Go on. Go on.
So after that night, she just removes me off Bumble, off Snapchat, and off my text message. She blocks me on everything, dude.
Yeah.
And then she just hasn't talked to me since. I try to reach out to her, and she's
Oh wow, that's shocker.
Not surprised,
Wow. Vanished.
motherfucker.
All right. Okay.
Face of the
Listen.
earth,
Listen.
you know?
Listen,
She's
Joe.
making bank on
Joe.
your,
Listen. Listen.
your-
It's time.
Your butt videos.
Listen, obviously your father failed. Okay, your parents have failed. You don't have an older brother. It's time. Listen, stop doing this. Okay.
Yeah, well,
No more sending people
I
pictures.
realized, like CB said, this is like the bottom of the barrel for me. So I did a lot of things. I'm like, I should probably just stop
Yes.
all of this.
Stop.
Stop all Tinder. Stop all Bumble.
No.
Is this
No, you don't have to-
intervention?
Yes.
Was that brought here for
Yes,
intervention?
yes.
No, he needed intervention about a year
No.
and a half ago.
Listen. Just stop sending. You can. This will be on Tinder and Bumble, but it meets people because I think that you actually need social interaction with people. But no more sending videos of you putting your finger up your ass with your penis out. No more of that.
common
no
sense.
more.
Yeah.
Because
Logic.
there's nothing to gain from that.
Yeah.
There's nothing to gain. You're a good-looking guy. You're tall. You're charming. You do jujitsu.
funny.
You're smart. You're a hard-working guy. There's nothing. You don't need this. Come on.
I think what it is that normally when you're with a girl, especially a young girl, she's always like, oh, I don't want to do this. I have these boundaries. You can't touch my ass. Don't lick my ass. All that stuff. So when I've met this girl and she was like such a dirty freak.
but here's the freak. Here's the thing. You didn't meet the girl. You emailed the person on a dating site.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, if you actually meet somebody and they want you to finger your asshole, go right ahead.
Yeah.
Finger knuckles deep. Okay, but if you don't meet the person, do not give your information or anything to them, okay? Because one day you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, a dream job! They're gonna offer you, I don't know, $20,000 a year." Okay, they're gonna
cut to.
and
we
cut
found
to
this on the internet.
Cut to they Google your name, and then you're on the floor with your dad knocking on the door, and your hands up your ass. Okay, so
Bloody sheets.
okay, stop. Seriously,
I was just excited.
and your face isn't in any of these videos.
Oh no! I mean, I hope not. It might have popped up a little bit, like on the
man.
corner.
All right, mixed martial arts.
boy.
Okay, let's talk about.
Websites for a
Even
while.
Bo saying, "Oh boy."
All right, let's talk about the
boy.
fights. Okay, but thank you for sharing though. By the way,
Yeah, thank you.
because part of me wants you to keep doing this because these are
I
great.
feel so much better about the future now.
Why do I feel like one of our listeners is gonna find this video and then like send it to him and be like, "Hey, is this you? Is this what you were talking about?" Like, oh, great. And he's gonna tag us.
Thousands of people.
You guys want to adopt another
scour
kid?
The internet looking for these.
Nah.
That's no problem.
It's no big deal.
Watch, cut to, like, it really is a girl masturbating to this. Like, it's actually some hot 20-year-old USC chick who's like, oh my God, this is the hottest thing
I
ever.
mean, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, of course. All right, so let's talk about the fights that happened over the weekend. The main card, I feel so bad for Luke Rockhold. You watch the fights?
No, I didn't. I was on daddy duty, man.
So Luke Rockhold, he fought
Luke.
Yoel Romero, and it was supposed to be for the interim title because Robert Whittaker got hurt. He was supposed to fight Robert Whittaker. Okay, and Whittaker got hurt, so he fights this, the soldier of God, this like behemoth of a man. I mean, you talk about like when they make, if God was making the perfect body, it would be like Yoel Romero, amazing wrestler, beat Cael Sanderson, who was the greatest college wrestler of all time, arguably in college. He beat him twice. This guy, he took silver medals in the Olympics. So he's who he's fighting. The guy is 40 years old, though, and has lost to Whittaker and has beat Jacare, but in a very controversial
Knocked out
fashion.
Machida.
Who's 40? Luke?
Romero.
Romero.
Romero's 40,
He beat, knocked out Chris Weidman. I mean, this guy's got massive power.
Right.
So they go in. Of course, the guy misses weight by 2.5 pounds. Right. So now it's no longer an interim title. But now Rockhold has a thing of like, should I fight the guy? Because Rockhold had to cut weight. But now he's already pissed. And I can just see in his thing. And, Luke Rockhold, talk about a guy with bad luck. At the same time, attitude. Think about attitude. Having a confident and arrogant attitude and sort of being cocky helps you in a lot of ways because you do feel like you're the man and nobody can beat you. But sometimes that same attitude can also be your biggest opponent. And I saw that when he fought Bisping, because he beat Bisping fast the first time. He dominated him. And in the second time, he was supposed to fight Weidman. I think Weidman got hurt, and Bisping came in, and Rockhold had this attitude of like, I'm doing the UFC a favor. This guy's not on my level. I'm going to beat this guy, and he got knocked out. And I think 99 out of 100 times, Rockhold wins that fight against Bisping.
Right.
But then Bisping gets the title, defends it against Dan Henderson, who's not even ranked, and against GSP, who took 4 years off, who came back and beat him. Now the title's like in some weird fucked up state, right? And Rockhold kind of got screwed. Then he goes out and talks shit about Dana White. Dana doesn't know what he's doing. The UFC's kind of a joke. Dana White says stick to modeling. So they have a whole thing. And then, of course, Rockhold then fights David Branch.
What does Dana White's decision have to do with him fighting?
Because Dana kind of has the final call on what he does.
But he didn't make weight. Luke could have said no.
Well, Luke could have said no. He didn't make weight. Luke could have said no. Fight's off. But at the same time, now what happens though is that like John Dodson did that. Like last week in Brazil, got this weight by 3 pounds. Dodson says, no, I'm not fighting. Now Dodson might not get his fight purse. So now you've done all the work. You get there, and now normally what they say is if the other guy doesn't make weight, he gives up 20% of his purse to you, but 10% only goes to you, 10% to the UFC, which is bullshit. It should all go to you. It should actually give half to you. I think the guy's girlfriend should blow you, and on top of that.
Or at least having combined finger your ass.
Yeah, all right. So anyway, cut to the fight now.
You can see guys making weight like that. If you put that on the table.
Yeah, if you have to watch his video, if you don't miss weight.
Only one person will miss weight, and then it'll never happen again.
You gotta watch him go knuckles deep on his
Nick
donut.
Ring's the only one who keeps making weight.
Dude, Steve Miocic would make 125 if he had to watch that video.
So, by the way, new contest. The winner gets that video. So anyway, so now
the loser.
Cut to Saturday night. Rockhold wins the first round pretty easily, and Romero's off to kind of a slow start. Now, the key to beating Romero is to get past the third round, because the guy is so muscular and kind of older, he will gas.
Right.
But just getting past, but those first 3 rounds are brutal. And Rockhold switched camps, which people were saying is that a good chance, a bad chance. I think, based on the last 2 performances, it was a bad choice, because he went to Florida, he left AKA. At AKA, he was with monsters like Daniel Cormier, Cain Velasquez, Khabib, whatever else guys they have over there, Josh Thompson. Now he's over at I think it was the former Black
Henry
Zillions.
Hooft.
Henry Hooft.
Henry Hooft opened his own gym, and it's basically like it's pretty much a striking gym, which I figured he wouldn't really need.
And Rockhold almost lost the first fight to David Branch. He got stunned in the first. But this fight, second round comes around. Raul Romero lands a punch. Rockhold's hurt, goes straight back, which they say never goes straight back,
right.
And then just gets laid out. And on top of that, after the fight gets stopped, Romero is like this huge Jesus freak. I mean, huge. I'm born again. So then he now gets into his face and starts talking to him like, "I love you, man. You got to accept Jesus." Like a 2-minute speech. Rockhold doesn't even know where he is. He's looking at this crazy Cuban guy who just knocked him out now.
Who's trying to convert him?
Into. It was the most uncomfortable.
And then he kissed him on the cheek.
People actually put a meme at it going #MeToo. And it was actually one of the funniest ones.
You know what? Though? I do love that though. Like when somebody, you knock your opponent out and the guy goes over and make sure he's okay, and also there's a level of respect that I really like when they go over.
But it was obvious this guy did not want to be talking to him.
And it was a little excessive.
And it was a little bit like please.
You can.
And the guy didn't know
there for like
too
a
much.
minute, and then the commission was like, "All right, you got to go."
And Rockhold's the kind of guy that like he's one of those dudes where it's real with him. And even
did Ramirez text
Romero?
Romero did he text Luke and ask for pictures of him fingering his ass?
Yes. but man, you talk about a guy. Okay, so the last time he got knocked out by Bisping, right? Like Bisping knocks him out and then stands over him and he's like, "What motherfucker? Who's a piece of shit now?" And just starts and gives him the finger. And now this time he gets knocked out and he gets a Jesus. Like he's just really bad at getting knocked out in that following minute. But look, I like Luke Rockhold. I think he kind of got a. Look, if he never loses to Bisping that second round, he's not in this situation. He kind of put himself in this situation by overlooking Michael Bisping. Because he still should be the champion. And if he's still the champion, this doesn't happen. I was at that fight. Bisping was like a 7-1 underdog. People were shocked. And even Dana White told me afterwards. He's like, "Yeah, Rockhold, man, he acted like he was doing me a favor by taking this fight." Like Dana told me that he was definitely, but I did kind of feel bad for Luke because, I don't know. You got about this weight cutting thing. If Luke Rockhold were to pull out of that fight, I think if a guy misses weight by 2 or more pounds, I think fights off, you lose, other guy wins.
Do you think this? I mean, this raises a question for me. Do you see any way to change this whole weight cutting thing and pairing guys up in their division?
It's hard
because as soon as you cut all that water weight, boom, you're putting it back on.
Well, when I was in college, weight cutting was the reason I quit wrestling in college because I was going from 150 to 134 every week.
That's crazy.
And eventually,
that's crazy.
And eventually, it took a toll on me, and I just said, "What am I doing this for?" There was no MMA. I wasn't making the Olympics.
You were going from
150 to 34. I was going.
So why don't you wrestle at 150?
Because the one I should have wrestled at 142. But the captain of my team, I was a freshman. He was 142, and he beat me in the wrestle off.
And he had some videos of you.
Yeah, he beat me like 7-4 in the wrestle off or 4. It was a close match. It was a close enough match where I should have just been second string. But my whole thing was, look, I'm the star. I was a 4-time state champ in high school. I'm not going to do this unless I start. There's no point of being on a team. I'm not going to redshirt. My ego was too big. I was a big fish in a small pond. I should have and I was making the weight. I was making 137. It really was 137.
But that's so harsh on your body. Do you think it'll ever change? Do you think you'll ever
what
see
they did was, what happened was my year, 2 kids died cutting weight.
Oh,
2
wow.
kids, they were jump roping in the shower. They were putting the steam up to like 100, whatever it was, and they were putting rubber suits on and jump roping.
Jesus.
And they passed out and they died. So they changed the rules where they go, you have to get a body fat percentage at the beginning of the season, and you can't get lower than that. And I think that's what they need to do for MMA for fights. They go, okay, you almost have to make weight like 8 weeks out or something. Like whenever the fight's announced, you have 6 weeks, and you can't get. And if your body fat's at whatever, then that would make more sense because what happens is guys are ballooning up to like Romero's probably walking around like 220, 230, and then getting down to 185.
Whoa,
so
Jesus.
that's what's
crazy.
That's what's happening. And as a wrestler, you come from a mindset of like, oh, I can do this, I got this, whatever. And then but I was doing things like I was spitting in a cup all day to cut weight. So I was chewing on a little Lifesaver, and then this would be all spit.
So you
and
totally dehydrated.
Yeah, or I would sleep with the window open and shiver at night. So then I would lose weight that way because my body, I put like 19 layers on and put the heat up and sweat out that way.
That's
there was
crazy.
all kinds of stupid things I would do.
I asked Dana White once. I said, "Dude, at the weigh-ins and the stare downs, I said, what's it like?" And he said, "It's the most disgusting thing ever."
Yeah.
Because you got people who have been like cutting weight, and they said they just smell. Their breaths are horrible.
Yeah, no, it's so
he's
true.
Right in there.
It's so true. You do definitely smell. It's the worst. It's the worst. So anyway, that was a fight. I feel bad for Luke. I still think Luke Rockhold could be champion. I think that he has to kind of stick around, take a fight on short notice. He's 30 something, but he's such a good athlete and he's so talented. And I don't think his chin is gone. I just think that Romero hits so hard.
No, and I worry about Rockhold because now he's talking about, I'm going to make the move up to 205. Cormier's going up to heavyweight. I'm like, Luke, Romero's knocking you out. Bisping's knocking you out at 185. What are these 205ers going to do?
Right.
You go in there with a Jimmy Manua. You go in there with, some of those other guys. Vulcan, yeah. Glover Teixeira, Alexander Gustafsson. Those are dangerous fights, man. We've seen you get knocked out brutally twice now by 85ers. What's going to happen 20
But that doesn't
pounds
always
ahead?
carry over, though.
No, and you know what? Hopefully it doesn't. Maybe the weight cut kind of hurt him, and that's why I noticed at the weigh-ins he was yelling at Romero like, "I'm a professional," and Romero's like, "Well, me too," and it's like, dude, he had to make weight, and Rockhold, I think his not ego, but like he was so emotionally pissed off about Romero making weight.
But that's how he is all the time, though.
I know, and I know that the negotiations after the weigh-ins, the ceremonial weigh-ins, were late into our time of the night, and Luke was like not 100% accepting it yet because I was following Ariel and a few other people. But I think it was just they needed to save that card.
Yeah,
Under any other circumstance, if they were like a co-main or if it was like a fight night or something, I wouldn't. And I even tweeted, I wouldn't have been upset if Rockhold said, "You know what? No." Like
I think more guys got to start saying no, but I think that they should be compensated for it.
They need to be compensated.
Because the problem is you say no, and then you don't get money, and then your trainer doesn't get paid, and your manager doesn't get paid.
And you fly all the way to fucking Australia.
Everyone gets paid. It's like, that's the problem.
But then, it could cut the whole event, too.
Well, that was the thing. That was the biggest thing.
If you pull out...
Yeah, but don't blame it on the guy who made weight.
Right.
He made weight.
Right, but I just, I feel bad for people who pre-order.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately,
Like,
because of the way that the fans are, people will be like, well, Rockhold's a pussy then, and he got this card canceled. No, you need to see it for what it is.
Every
but it's
fan
never
should have to
gonna
make
happen.
one weight cut, and then they will be like, you know what, you're right, because those weight, I know how those weight cuts are. You talk about I was having salad sandwiches for lunch, one meal a day, putting two pieces of bread in salad. It's the worst. It's the worst. And I literally wanted to kill. I remember being at a party and they shaved my head because I was a freshman on the wrestling team, and they said that your head shaved as an initiation. I was so pissed. I had this beautiful hair, and I was finally getting laid for the first time in my life. And
As a freshman in high school?
as a freshman in college,
Oh.
and I had huge cauliflower ear and a ringworm on my head, and I'd be at a party with the fucking
Ladies.
I'd be at a party with the wrestlers. The wrestlers have you talk about guys who have no social, just the worst. When it comes to wrestlers in high school, like wrestling in college, 90% of them, and I love them, are the worst at like socially picking up chicks, like just idiots. They're just kind of meatheads. Not idiots, they're just sort of like tough guys, just not very good at being. So we were standing there like morons with shaved heads.
I can see nothing's changed.
At parties, and people would bump into us, and I'd be like, "What?" But because I was so angry because I couldn't eat. You really are like a starved animal. Anyway,
Dude, you should see me on the Atkins diet. I'm an asshole.
Yeah. Right?
And that's just from cutting a bit of carbs. I could never cut weight. I could never. I would be such a jerk.
It's brutal. So Mark Hunt lost to Curtis Blades. At this point, Mark Hunt, the legend that he is, and he is a legend, I almost feel like he should go to kickboxing because it seems like wrestling is just not his friend. And anybody who's got a high-level wrestling degree is going to just take him down and hold him there. And that's what Curtis Blades did. That's what Brock Lesnar did. I remember talking to Sean McCorkle. He said Mark Hunt missing him was one of the hardest he's been hit. Like the guy missed. The guy missed, and he was like, "Wow, I don't want to get hit by that."
There's no crying on MMA Roasted. There's no crying.
But that's what I think. What happens is that
His takedown defense is just gone. I mean, he's what, 40, 41, 42, something like that. His takedown defense is gone. Curtis Blades had the perfect game plan, but I will say he was inches from just getting finished in the first. But with Mark Hunt, he's got 2 fights left on his contract. He wants out of the UFC. Does he go back to kickboxing? Does he go to Bellator? Does he go to Ryzen? I mean, he's against steroids, but he could go to Ryzen and do whatever the hell he wanted to do, or he goes to Bellator as a heavyweight alternate, or if he shows up after the tournament's over. Yeah. And there's a very, very good chance that he ends up winning the belt.
He can knock anybody out, but it just seems like takedowns are just not his friend.
No, not at all. And I love when Curtis Blades was like, "Oh, Ngannou hits harder than Mark Hunt," and I'm like, I would love to see that. That how to figure that out, like the punching machine, have them both hit the punching machine as hard as possible. But I think that's the fight to make. Mark Hunt and Ngannou. I mean, there's no way either one of them's taking the other one down. It's just going to be a fucking war until somebody's head gets... It's rock'em sock'em robots.
I think Ngannou wins that fight. It seems like when Mark Hunt fights a striker that's big, taller than him.
Well, Ngannou's younger and he's probably a little faster.
Look what happened with Overeem.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mark Hunt...
Overeem was in the audience for 221, and I'm sure he was watching it, and Curtis Blades goes, I don't call anybody out, but I want somebody at a higher rank. And I'm like, Curtis Blades and Overeem, make the fight.
Did you watch the Roy Jones fight on Fight Pass?
No.
I actually watched that.
No.
And it was pretty cool. I mean, I was laughing going into it because it was like he comes out with like 5 girls dancing. I'm like, these are probably his granddaughters. But he's 50 years old. And he beat up a guy that was like 32, and he was laughing but I just hope I hope when he said this is his last fight on Fight Pass, I hope he doesn't mean on Fight Pass. I hope this is now he's fighting on Facebook, and then he's got to stop fighting.
Instagram Live.
Because at 50 years old, what more do you have to prove?
Dude.
What do you have to prove?
Enough.
What do you have to prove? There were some other fights. I was surprised at a couple different fights. I was a little upset that Ben Wynn lost.
It's a good fight, though.
Good fight, tough guy. But the other guy looked great, though. And that spinning backhand, Justin Jussier Formiga. And then the other kid who lost, too, with the undefeated kid from Canada, got shellacked.
Oh, Kennedy?
Yeah, the kid that hates Team Alpha Male.
Jeremy Kennedy?
Jeremy Kennedy got murdered.
Dude, it was just, pure domination.
That's the problem when you have an undefeated guy, is that you don't know what's going to happen when things get rough. And it's the same thing with like comedy. Like last night I did a comedy show at the Dime Bar, and it was like kind of a shitty crowd, but there was like 4 black people that came, and they were not there for the comedy show. They just came to go to a bar, and I convinced them to come in. And I was on stage, and they were all on their phones. So I'm like, "Oh, you guys are all on Soul Swipe or something?" I was just kidding around,
Did you say Soul Swipe?
Soul Swipe. That's like it's like a black Tinder, right?
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so out of the loop with it. What is it? Bumble?
Bumble, yeah.
Okay, Cupid, Tinder.
Soul Swipe is more like, it's just a funny name, but it's actually a real thing. So I'm making everyone laugh, but except for them. And then they kind of turn it into like a racial thing of like, "Oh, you're making, look, I get it, we're black," or something. So I was like,
friends with Brendan Schaub.
So I was like, okay. So then I just kind of made everyone else laugh. And everyone was dying laugh. And then I went back, and then I made them laugh. But it was one of those things where everyone kept, afterwards like, "Man, I was so impressed how you did that," because you had them all against you, and you turned them, and then somebody else said, "Dude, this guy's been doing it 20 years." And that's really what it is like, okay, I figured out what to do. You deal with this for a second, make everyone laugh, establish you're funny, then go back to them. It's a lot of times with dealing with hecklers, my favorite is like the rope-a-dope, where a guy says something and you let him get off a couple times. Oh, okay. You kind of jab him back. He thinks he won. You make everyone laugh, and at the end of the show, you just pound him with every insult possible. He's not expecting it, and then you get off stage. And there's just different ways to do it. And relating it to this kid Kennedy is that he's never really faced adversity in a fight before. He's never been down. He's won every round. And unfortunately for him, well, maybe fortunately in the long run, but for now, he now has the first loss. He got stopped, yada, yada. And that's really kind of what the difference between a professional and someone who's has experience before is they've been there before. They've seen this before. And that's something that you can't get. Like you said, as far as comedy goes, I know, Dean, you want to do comedy, and I'm always telling you, like, just getting in there is the most important thing. Mm-hmm. It's not about even succeeding. You succeeded by getting in there. Because by not getting in. It's like saying, well, I want to be a black belt, but I don't want to get tapped.
I want to run a marathon, but start at the 26th mile.
You know,
Right.
I want to make sure my guillotine's perfect before I start jiu-jitsu. Like, no, you can't. You can't practice it by yourself doing a guillotine.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but you have to get on the mat. You have to get on the stage. You have to be there.
I'm a big fan of, I call them life lessons, right? Like you can't, whether you're studying to be a professor or, high level UFC fighter or anything you're getting into, you put in the time, you learn about it, and then you got to go and get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
You got to do it. There's, you can't put a price on doing it.
Right.
You gotta do it. You gotta get choked out. You gotta bomb.
Right. No, that's so much. Bombing is like the most important, and unfortunately,
And that goes back to the participation thing with kids. In school, but they all get a prize. Nobody loses.
Yeah. Oh, it's
have to.
ridiculous. You have to. By the way, you know who did great last week again? It was Tyron Woodley. Came by the haha again. He hit me up. He's like, "Hey, I want to get up." So I got him on the stage, and
no way.
He killed it. He said a second time he did comedy and killed.
No way.
I mean, not even like exaggerating. He killed. He just has he's very personable. He's funny, and he's fearless.
Oh, I'd love to have seen that, man. Because I saw something on the weekend with
him and Dana
Gronkowski.
White.
No, Gronkowski did a
Oh
comedy
yeah, Rob
special.
does that at Showtime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him and Dana White are fighting now because I guess he was in negotiations to fight Nate Diaz, and then Dana's like, Tyron's full of shit, and then Dana's like, what? Why are you singling out me? Everybody else gets to fight whoever they want to fight. How come I don't get? I think Tyron Nate Diaz is a great fight for Tyron. I think number one, I don't think that's the most dangerous fight for him, but it's the most money made. I mean,
That would be a good fight.
he's going to make a ton of money, and
he's not going to take Nate down. He doesn't have to. He just levels him on the feet, and he's a huge 170.
Yeah.
Nate takes a few good shots from him. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Here's a good ticket. Woodley versus David Spade.
Is David Spade?
Since he's getting into comedy, let's go the other way.
I would much rather watch Woodley.
Let's get David
Yeah, that's what. Well, that's the
Spade
thing.
in the
So
ring with
over the
Woodley.
right. So over the weekend, so he tweeted that out. Dos Anjos tweeted out, "Why don't you fight Justin Bieber? He has a lot of followers."
Yeah.
And
I
then
just played hockey with Justin.
Really?
On Friday.
Is he good?
He's really good, man.
Really?
Yeah.
He's Canadian.
Oh
He has to be.
yeah.
Our team needed a skater, and he just showed up, and he's like, can I skate with you guys? I'm like, yeah, sure.
You guys win?
Oh, yeah, we won. Yeah.
Bieber score?
He scored about 4 goals. We won
Did a hat trick.
10-6.
How many goals do you score?
I just, I'm a defenseman, man. I just get
An
helpers.
enforcer?
God.
I got about 4 assists.
Nice.
Are you an enforcer?
A little bit.
Wow.
A little bit. It's funny, man. One of my teammates came up to me and said, for some reason, you got into this kid's head on the other team. And we didn't even have an interaction or anything, but just my size and my gear, I intimidated the kid, and he just wouldn't come near me. When he got the puck, when I got near him, he got all jittery and like forced plays and messed up. And I was like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
52, but I still got it.
Of course. Well, you're Canadian also, man. Like, hockey is like that's the number one sport there. It's great. Hockey fans.
It's the best sport in the world. No offense to MMA.
Yeah,
That's
it's all. Yeah, I mean, hockey fans will definitely say that.
There were 2 murderers on the card on Saturday night that scared the shit out of me.
Who's that?
Number 1, Ty Tovasa,
Oh God, yeah.
who also I love because he grabbed somebody's Adidas shoe after the fight, put a beer in it, and was drinking beer out of this dude's shoe from the audience.
Right.
But this Israel Adesanya,
Oh, that kid.
the style bender.
Yeah. They're calling him like the next John Jones. Although I do think that UFC should, because the guy's from New Zealand. I think he's from Nigeria. Turns out New Zealand. I met him, tall guy. But the only thing about him is takedown defense. He went up against a striker that was not really good at that takedowns that can beat. If he goes up against a wrestler, he's gonna have a lot of problems. Like
he's going to have to transfer to a good wrestling
yeah,
camp.
if they're smart, they're going to keep him. This Sunday night, this UFC this Sunday, Donald Cerrone is taking on Yancy Medeiros.
Love Cowboy.
Love Cowboy.
This is a great card, dude.
Cowboy came to my show. I was giving him such a hard time when he came to my show. He was a good, really good dude.
Okay, before we started the show, you said your wife will babysit.
Yes.
If your wife will babysit, then I can get back in to watching the fights.
Okay.
Because I completely.
She will 100% babysit.
Completely missed this.
She kept
this
asking me
weekend's
to.
fights.
Yes.
And I feel like an idiot because
No, it's all
an
good.
MMA show and I don't know who fought.
Don't worry about
but
it. It's all
we
good.
got a deal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So Yancy Medeiros is a guy from Hawaii who's had he trains with the Diaz brothers. Super cool guy. Every fight he's in, he gets rocked, hurt, and then comes back and wins. And Cerrone's on a 3-fight losing streak. He's not looked good his last 3 fights. But this fight, if you would have told me this fight was made 5 years ago, I would have been like, Yancey's gonna get his head chopped off.
Right.
Now, I don't know.
3-fight losing streak. Wow.
3-fight losing, but
that.
fought killers. But fought killers.
If Yancey comes out heavy in the first and can, counter Cerrone's slow start, I think he has a good shot.
I mean, if he fought Masvidal, Robbie Lawler, and Darren Till, so the guy
killers.
He fought killers.
If Yancey comes out heavy in the first round, I think he could finish Cerrone. I think if it gets past the first, goes to the second and third.
What's Yancey got on Cerrone? What?
He's got great jiu-jitsu.
He's got
but so does Cerrone.
great jiu-jitsu. He's a brawler.
He's got a heart.
He gives no fucks. Like, he just comes out and swings. If you go back, and this was only a couple months ago, if you could find, it's probably on Fight Pass, Yancy Medeiros and the Brazilian cowboy, Alex Oliveira.
Okay.
That was candidate for Fight of the Year and one of the craziest, bloodiest wars I've ever seen. And that's what I think has given Yancey the rise to this occasion. If it gets past the first and Cerrone can get started, it'll go either way. I mean, it's a pick.
So who are you picking?
On a 3-fight losing streak, I got to go with Yancy Medeiros against Cerrone. I mean, it hurts me to say it, but and Yancy, I think, is a little bit younger.
They're fighting in Texas, though.
They are fighting in Texas. So it's I think a 5-hour
Cerrone
time
just
difference.
out of just historically.
I got to go with Cerrone based on experience.
I think he's great.
I don't want it's not like I'm like
You don't have to. We know.
No, but I think it's a good fight. I think it has Fight of the Year written on it. Fight of the Night candidate for sure.
Finger ass. Who you got?
I agree with CB on this one. I mean, Yancey has that Hawaiian spirit inside of him, dude. It's like, you can't break him. He's always going to come forward and come back from the dead and just find a way to come out with the W, dude.
If he wins, will you put a whole fist in your ass or no?
I mean, that ain't nothing new, but we'll talk.
We'll talk about it. All right, thank you.
We'll put a lei around his wrist and we'll get a whole Hawaiian theme going.
I like it. Derek Lewis versus Marcin Tubara. Derek Lewis is the Black Beast.
I don't even know who these guys are.
So he's this guy. So this guy, the Black Beast, he came out on fire. He's this huge, overweight black man who knocked out Travis Brown.
What does he weigh?
Ronda Rousey's.
He's a heavyweight.
He weighs 260.
Jesus.
So he knocked out.
Can you imagine getting
You don't
hit
want to
by
see him in a dark
who's
alley.
260?
So he knocked out Travis Brown, right, which was Ronda Rousey's fiance, and I think they're married now. Ronda Rousey's husband. He knocks him out. And then goes, Ronda Rousey, get your fine white ass over here. Like,
where's Ronda Rousey's fine ass at?
Yeah, in the octagon, he says this, right? Yes,
nice.
And this guy's hilarious. He's actually really funny. And then he took his face and photoshopped it over Travis's face on the wedding pictures.
I like that. He's got a sense of humor.
He's really, really funny. But he fought Mark Hunt and quit in the 4th round. He says he quit because he had to take a shit.
What?
Yeah, he was getting beat up, but he tapped kind of. But he says he really had
kicked him in the stomach.
That was Hunt. He said he had to take a shit. That's why but in his defense, they did say there's numerous witnesses of him. He was eating chicken wings before the fight, in the locker room.
Okay. But what do you do in that scenario? You shit your pants in the octagon and just keep going.
There's a new rule now because a
anymore.
girl actually took a shit in the octagon.
She shit her pants while getting choked out.
So now the rule is if you shit or piss,
piss or throw up, it's
the
a
fight's
TKO
over.
loss.
The fight's over. Yeah.
But I mean, you're getting choked out and you're on the verge of unconsciousness. You can't control.
Yeah, well, that's
You're gonna lose either way, I guess.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
Now, if
you're getting choked out and you shit and you grab a handful of it and you put it in your opponent's face,
that'd be funny.
Then that'd be a technical.
That'd be funny. If all of a sudden, you're fighting John Jones and you're like, you know what? Fuck this. Just take a just fucking pull down your pants.
With fucking shit on your fingers.
Just pull down your pants.
You got pink eye now, bitch.
No, just shit in the octagon.
Just go right to the Harley Davidson logo and just drop a deuce.
Fight's over.
Well, no, that's the Modelo logo.
That would be hilarious. That'd be if any fighter really wants to get back at the UFC on a Fox card, just take a piss in the middle of the octagon. So Marcin Tubara is taking on Derek Lewis, the Black Beast, against a guy from Poland. I got to go with the Black Beast.
Derek Lewis.
I got to go with the Black Beast just because, one, the name, his sense of humor, and the fact he had to he tapped because he had to take his shit.
He also retired his last fight. He said he retired.
Yeah, then he realized that he can make $80,000 doing this, or
$4 at like Costco or something.
Yeah.
Tybura went 5 with Verdum. But Verdum doesn't hit anywhere near as hard as Derek Lewis does.
Yeah.
But I think this is another
I don't know.
good fight.
Not many black people in Poland too. When he sees this fucking huge guy running out from him,
the people that see him walking out to the entrance, down the entrance ramp, are probably like, "Fuck this, dude! I'm out." Like,
that was funny. Like when Tyson was fighting Frank Bruno. Remember Frank Bruno? He's from England, and all these British people were like, that black man's going to kill him. They interview all these people. All right, so James Vick, our friend James Vick, he was a bouncer at a strip club while he was in the UFC. Nice guy. He's fighting Trinaldo, who is no joke. He almost beat Kevin Lee, but Kevin Lee came back. I think Vick's going to win.
some people say, I think it was, not Trinaldo, it was Gleason Tebow, but James Vick. I mean, Trinaldo's only weapon, I think, in this fight against Vick. Vick is a hell of a lot taller than him. His best weapon is going to be to take him down, but he's got to get the takedown. And Vick is very, very tough. He throws heavy as hell, throws heavy knees, and Vick has that give no fuck attitude. So he'll throw whatever the fuck he wants, try to land it on Trinaldo. I think Vick can knock him out.
I think so too. I mean, I was actually really surprised when he beat that kid from Canada. Oh no, that kid from England that beat McGregor.
Joe Duffy.
Yeah, that was like, I was
Well,
like,
that guy came in with a lot of hype because he beat McGregor, but that was also, 2009 when he did it. And, you haven't seen a lot from Joe Duffy since then. But, yeah, James Vick, and especially since he lost to Beneil, I think he kind of, reformed himself and started changing a few different things. And
So Sage Northcutt on this card, you know him, right? He's like the perfect. So he's a guy that the UFC signed.
He's the one that can do front flips.
They were
on
hoping that
demand.
this kid was going to be like the future of the division. He looks like a young Ivan Drago, blonde hair, 12-pack, and he calls everyone sir. He's like from some cult. He goes around like, hello, sir. Nice to meet you, sir. He's like the nicest kid ever. Doesn't do any drugs. Meanwhile, his dad got busted for selling steroids or something. I don't know. Some kind of
Wasn't
weird.
it cocaine?
Allegedly, I don't know exactly what happened. But anyway, the kid and his sister are both karate experts, beyond black belts, 3rd degree black belts, but his grappling's horrible. So he got a couple of his fights, he got taken down and tapped to but they really wanted him to be the future of the UFC. They were like, this is our guy.
Right.
And
who's he fighting?
So he's fighting
Thibault.
John Gotti or something. Who's he fighting?
Thibault Goatee.
Who is this guy?
Goatee. Another stepping stone for Sage Northcutt. I
Really?
think. Yeah.
They're really trying to find guys
They're
that he
setting
can
him
beat.
up.
But this is what the kid looks like.
Oh, yeah, okay, I know who this kid is.
Yeah, and they got him when he was 18 years old. Super polite kid. I met him. The kid couldn't have been
He looks
nicer.
like a young Dean McDermott.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Gouty's 1-3 in the UFC. He lost by TKO to Chad the Priest. He lost by submission to Olivier Aubin Mercier, and he lost by submission to a guy named Timu Pakalin, who the rest of his Wikipedia is guys that nobody knows. He beat Andrew Holbrook.
Yeah, so they're really trying to find someone from the beat.
They're
which
yeah.
I hate that.
Well, I think they realize when they put him in there with real competition that he usually gets outclassed.
The problem was, this is the problem with the UFC, is that they pick people like Paige Van Zandt, Sage Northcutt, who really they should have given a couple more years in the LFA, RFA, Invicta. But because of the way they look and their marketability and WME, they're like, hey, let's get these kids. But they're fighting against grown men,
Right.
And grown women who have nothing to lose, who are from, the favelas and Brazil.
Experience of actually doing it.
Right, and then they're and now all of a sudden they lose, and then you think those agents really care? Or the people behind them,
No, they're still getting paid. Sage is making, 60 and
But they're going to look for the
80,
next
80.
one. They're going to be another fucking, hot
look what
chick
happened. They threw in Brian Barberena, and Sage just got demolished.
And he went up a weight class to fight him.
He had nothing.
Wasn't even Barber in his weight class. So anyway, Mickey Gall beat him too.
Same thing. I don't know. I didn't know what you were looking at to see the card. But I just found out Livia Souza is injured as of a couple days ago and is out of the fight with Jessica Aguilar. So the UFC doesn't know if they're going to find a replacement within 5 days to fight Aguilar. So
we're-
yeah, the Livia Souza Aguilar fight might be off, guys.
So we're calling Jake Mathews right now. See if he picks up the phone. He's a kid from Australia. Just won his fight. Looked like a murderer in his fight.
He should have won by disqualification, to be honest.
Yeah, he got his eyes. I said fingered harder than Magana.
Fingered
trying to
harder
get
than Joe's asshole.
Oh yeah. Really? we show him your asshole and finger it again to see how hard.
This is a demonstration of what happened.
Oh man, that was ridiculous.
It was. I mean, people were freaking out, and then the refs. You know, I thought with the ref, my girl. I had some friends over as well, and we were talking about it. And I think one of the things he was like, why didn't they stand him up? Why didn't they stop and take a point? And I could be wrong on this, but this was just my assumption take on it, was he had the guillotine, he had it in, and if they stand him up to take a point, how do they put him back in a position where he
here's the
could
problem
finish?
though. They go, next time you do that, you're getting a point. Next time.
Well, no, I know, but I also think if it went to decision, or if somehow Jing Liang won, I think they could have appealed it, and the commission would have overturned it. No
a guy
question.
puts his finger in your
I
eye
get
socket.
it, but I'm trying
it's a fucking point taken away. I got a point if you're yelling at the ref than the wrestling.
I get it. I'm just saying, how I think it went, but people are saying, the ref fucked up on it, and I agree. They should have stopped it. They shouldn't even have taken a point. They should have called it.
What if they didn't stop it? He was in the guillotine. So why don't stop it? Take the point, and
I
see
think they
where
have
it goes.
to stop
And
it. Take the point
he
and
gets out
raise
of the
the
hold.
hand in front of the judges, like in the middle of the octagon. They'd have to stop it, stand the guys up, and go, okay, 1 point.
You're saying they can only take a point if they stop it?
Not stop it. I'm saying stop him from trying to finish the guillotine. He had dominant position off his back in a full guillotine, and he could have finished it possibly if, depending on the circumstances. So to stop it and put him back down and put him in the guillotine again, how do you give him that type of advantageous position?
Well, that's what I'm saying is leave him, take the point.
But I think to take the point, they have to stop the action.
Right, that's what we don't know. That's what we don't know. Is can you take a point without having to actually stop the action? It's a very good question. But yeah, that was insane.
But I also contest that if it would have gone to the judges, or if Jing Liang somehow would have won that fight, if it would have been Mathews camp would have appealed, and I'm almost 100% positive the commission would have overturned it to a no contest or a disqualification, because he didn't just eye gouge him, he stuck his nail in there and he ripped him wide open.
Yeah,
he was spewing blood out. It was probably one of the most illegal maneuvers I've ever seen.
It could have fucked up his whole vision for life. I mean, it was.
Oh yeah, look at Bisping.
By the way,
look at Alan Belcher.
By the way, Phil Baroni is fighting bare knuckle boxing in England
against Goran Reljic.
Is he good?
He used to be in the UFC, but he's a grappler.
Okay, so is that good for Phil?
I think that's good for Phil. I hope it's, unless Goran forgets the rules.
You know Phil Baroni?
Just takes him down.
They're doing bare knuckles boxing.
Yeah, in England now they have bare knuckle boxing, and a lot of ex-UFC fighters are going over there. Joe Riggs went over there. Melvin Gillard, and some are doing well.
Is this televised? I gotta see this.
I think it's on pay-per-view or streamed somewhere. Pay-per-view. A lot of times the fights take on like an airport hangar, or somebody gets a text message in the middle of the night, and then everyone shows up. Yeah, so Phil Baroni has somehow hooked up with the bare knuckle boxing team, so we have to talk to him about.
I gotta see this.
And then this week, Roy Nelson's fighting Matt Mitrione on Bellator.
Bellator.
Big Roy for the Bellator Heavyweight Championship tournament. Do you know about this? No. So Bellator has a heavyweight tournament championship, right?
Yeah.
And it was Rampage. First round was Rampage versus Chael Sonnen, which Chael won. And then. Yeah, he beat Rampage. Rampage looked like he trained at Applebee's for the fight or something. It was ridiculous. So now it's Roy Nelson versus Mitrione, which Roy won the first time, right?
Yeah, tough 16 finale. Roy knocked him out.
Right.
I've always loved watching Roy fight.
And then
they even had a belly rub challenge for free tickets to the fight.
Really?
Yeah, on Instagram they said send us your belly rub reenactments and we'll pick the best one and either get you free tickets.
I think my ex-girlfriend won that.
A prize package. It was just so funny.
And then Fedor is fighting Frank Mir. Yeah.
And then Ryan,
but Frank Mir right now, I love Frank, but he looks like
he's 310 pounds.
He's 310 pounds?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
they had all the guys at the hotel and at the fights for the Chael Rampage one.
How do you know he's 310?
Because I was hanging out with fucking Frank.
What, with a scale?
Not with a scale, but he's bigger than he's ever. He's at least 300. Easy.
Right.
What did he weigh at when he was fighting UFC?
265, 250. I mean,
Sometimes
it
he
looks
came
like
in
he's in his like
240,
8th trimester.
245.
You know,
He's
like if Tori had all your kids at the same time in her belly,
Stick them on Frank Mir.
that's what Frank Mir would look like.
his daughter won a jiu-jitsu tournament over the weekend. Frank Mir.
Did you graph her afterwards?
No, it was on Instagram.
All right. So and then also King Mo is fighting Ryan Bader. So the winner of this heavyweight Grand Prix is the Bellator champion. So this week it's the second heavyweight fight, which is Roy Nelson versus Frank Mir.
Okay, where are we watching it? You're
I'm gonna be this week in Houston, but Sunday I'll be back.
Okay.
Can we call this number 6?
Actual phone number.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. And then so then also there's a good Bellator card also. Who's on the card? One of the Pitbull brothers is fighting.
Yeah, Patricky Pitbull, the bigger Pitbull.
Is he the better one?
That knocked the fuck out of Ryan Couture. No, Patricio's the former champ, but Patricky, don't sleep on Patricky Pitbull.
And Jessica I took a really good photo shoot on Instagram. You see that?
I saw that.
Right, she's showing her ass. I like it. Some people said it was flat. I thought it was a great ass. Jessica I keep it up. I'm a big fan of your ass. Definitely.
Now, Johnny Hendricks is he heading over to Bellator?
We'll find out this week or
the
next
word
week.
is that he got cut from the UFC, and
He wasn't cut.
He wasn't cut.
Oh, he
No,
wasn't.
it was the last fight on. It was the last fight on his contract. He decided not to re-sign.
Not to because I
With them.
read in social media he got cut from the UFC, but
Yeah.
You know what? I think he needs to take a serious look at like what he wants to do. The problem with Johnny Hendricks is he's been a champion his whole life. He started wrestling at 5. He was a 5-time state champ in high school. He was a 2-time national champion in college.
I loved his fights against
Against GSP. I mean, he won the title. I thought they gave him after the GSP thing, even though he technically lost. I thought he actually won. But lately he's a shell of himself. You know, you look at his fight against Gastelum.
His fight against Matt Brown.
Fight against Matt Brown. His fight against even his fight against the tall dude from Neil Magny. The last fight against Barrachuda. Oh, hello, is this Jake Mathews?
Yes.
Hey, you're on the MMA Roasted podcast. How are you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Good. Okay. Can we hear you? Jake, talk. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here,
Yeah. Okay, so you're
in the
here.
ocean?
It's Dean McDermott. It's me.
Hey, Jake.
It's my man Weendawg, as well as CB Gold. By the way, how's your eye, man?
Yeah, the eyes are okay. Sorry, are we supposed to be at 10 or 9?
It was supposed to be at 10, but I was just bored, so I wanted to call you.
Oh, okay, no worries. Yeah, cool.
Okay, so anyway, how's your eye?
Yeah, the eye's doing good.
Dude, that was the biggest bullshit. Like I said, I mean, Angela Magana hasn't been fingered that hard. That was insane.
But yeah, like I lost a bit of I lost some vision in the eye for a little bit, but yeah, it's still a little bit blurry at the moment, but it's getting there. It's coming back.
Yeah, well, dude, it was a great fight, man. This was the best I think you've looked. I mean, how exciting was it to get that win in Australia?
Yeah, you know, it's always good to fight in front of the Aussie fan, and you know, especially on a numbered card, on a pay-per-view, and to be on the main card as well, and get a fight of the night. I mean, everything was just perfect that night, and like you said, it was definitely my best performance to date. And I feel like, you know, the old Jake Mathews is back, and I'm definitely enjoying it more.
The old Jake Mathews, you're 23 years old. You're a young kid. I mean, but I understand, man. I mean, you looked great in that fight. I actually talked to Kevin Lee, and Kevin Lee said that you were the strongest guy he's ever fought.
Yeah, see, like that's the thing, you know, fighting at lightweight. I think I was probably, you know, only fighting at 40% of what I could do. When I was younger, I used to fight at welterweight, and I actually used to walk around underweight. But I was fresh. I was 100%. I had the energy and the strength. And you know, the first couple of fights at lightweight were okay. Then progressively it became harder. And you know, by the time I had my last few fights at lightweight, I just had no energy. I was very lethargic, and you know, and then I had doctors on my case saying, you know, your health coming into play here. So it was a no-brainer, and I definitely think I've made a new home at welterweight.
Well, no, man, I was so happy for you because you're such a nice guy, man. You're just a nice person. You're a good person, so it's nice when good things happen to good people. Thank you. How did you celebrate in Australia? You must have had lots of girls. Come on, talk to us.
Me Nah, just the one girl.
Nice.
Just the one.
Is it the same?
She couldn't be there, unfortunately, but we just, we do the same thing after every fight. We find a nice pub. We have a quiet meal, and then we go to bed early. Just when the adrenaline wears off, we're just all tired. So there's no big club parties or anything like my kind for us. We just go eat, just have friends and family around, and that's the way we like it.
Is it the same girlfriend as before?
Sorry, pardon?
Is it the same girlfriend as before?
Yeah, same girlfriend's last few fights, yep. So it'll be 2 years since our first date in about a week.
Wow. I mean, what do you think? You gonna marry her?
Maybe, we'll see. Yeah, she's good. She's a good girl. She doesn't give me any grief. I'm always training and I'm always away fighting. But she knows. I said to her, if you want your Gucci handbags and all your nice stuff, you let me go fight, okay? So she understands. Nice.
What does she do for a job?
She's a school teacher. She teaches primary school.
See, that's what you need. You need a school teacher. That's a good job for a girl with a fighter, because she could deal with annoying kids all day, so she could deal with you. So that's good, man.
Yeah, that's right. I don't think kids are a touch on me. I can be annoying.
Now you're excited, man. So are you at the same camp as you always been, or did you switch camps at all for this fight?
Yeah, it was same camp, same trainers. Obviously, this fight we trained over the Christmas break, so some gyms were closed. Some classes were off, so we had to go outside of our normal training group, and we saw different sparring. We sparred with some really top boxers. I think one of the boxers I sparred just won a world title. Sparring with some guys who are getting up there in the K1 scene and doing well, and it gave me the confidence to go in and use my hands this time. And I've been striking for longer than I've been grappling. I've just never really let my hands go in a fight. This time I was able to do that, and I think people are going to see more striking and hopefully more knockouts from me in the future.
Got it. So who did now after the fight? You didn't call anyone out, did you?
No, I didn't. I honestly haven't looked at who's sort of in that next sort of area in the rankings above me. But look, I just I'm not one for calling people out. If there is someone that I really want to fight, I will. But the UFC matchmakers are the best in the world, and they know what they're doing. So I trust in them to give me good fights and build me up progressively and not just throw me to the wolves, but they'll pick the right opponents, and then that's who I'm going to fight.
Now, I know that Tyron Woodley and some other people were complaining that, that it's like entertainment, but it's also a sport where you have guys that, are obviously the number 1 and 2 guys, but then they just throw in like, hey, we're going to give CM Punk another try at this, or we're going to make Bisping versus GSP, or we're going to put Nick Diaz back. Does that bother a guy like you? Because you're like, wait, what do you're trying to climb up the rankings, and they're kind of just messing stuff up with that?
No, not at all. Those guys have done the hard yards. Probably not CM Punk, but it is entertainment business at the end of the day. And sometimes it is a bit frustrating, when you get guys like Sage Northgate, CM Punk. Not that they're they don't train hard, but you got guys that have been in the sport a lot longer. They can bring more to a fight, and it shouldn't be so much about social media followers as much as the actual fighter's ability itself. But that's where fighters like myself and guys who are lower ranked, we've got to put ourselves out there. Get out in the public, get our social media following up, put a name for ourselves rather than just going in and fighting. So it's a lot more than just a sport, like you said. It's our job. We have to be out there in the public eye. We have to build our own brand up, and and hopefully one day we'll get the shot as well.
Now, how hard was it? Because I know a couple fights ago you were in Australia when you kind of lost that fight, and everyone was kind of down, and people were like, "Oh, okay." People were starting to doubt how good you were. How hard was it to not listen to the haters and not let people get under your skin?
Yeah, look. Sometimes when people say certain things that are frustrating, more so the only thing that really frustrated me was when they bring my dad into the equation, and they talk about how I think Sage Northgate cops a bit of flack as well for having his dad as his coach, and so that's the only thing that really bothers me. Everything else, I know what I can do. I finally showed everyone I can do, and I think I've quieted all haters down now. But it's only when people sort of tell me I should find a new coach. But my dad's the one who's got me where I am now. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be in the UFC. So that's the only thing that really bothers me. Apart from that, I expect it. I mean, I've done nothing apart from lose a couple of fights. I've really done nothing to have any haters. I don't talk trash. I haven't really done anything, outside the UFC to give myself a bad name. But yet people will still talk trash, and people will still try and hate on you. But that's the career I chose, and you're in the entertainment industry, and it's going to happen.
Now, when Jessie Jess fought Rowdy Beck, those are two girls from where you're from, right? Were you torn?
Yep. It's hard to watch. You don't know who to go for, But I've met Jessie Jess before over in Vegas. We were there for the Athlete Summit, and she's a lovely lady. So I was happy that she was able to get the win, and I saw her again this time. She congratulated me. So and Beck's lovely as well. So it is hard to watch that, but at the end of the day, there's a pecking order in Australia, and they've got to sort it out of who's going to be the next sort of up and comer in Australia. So again, that's just what it is in this industry.
I love Australians when they're in the crowd as a comic because they never get offended. You could say anything, and Australians will laugh, or they won't laugh, but they never get mad. They just. You guys are really good at taking the piss out of yourselves. So.
If you got an Aussie mate, you'd understand. We just, like you said, we take the piss out of each other non-stop, so it's just normal for us. I think a lot of Aussie fighters, that's why we don't get, we don't get a bit torn up when there's trash talk on social media. We normally just give it back, and it's all lighthearted. We don't take it personally. They don't know us, so we can't take it personally. So we just give it back.
Well, now, what are your thoughts on Tori Spelling?
Pardon? Say it again.
Do you know who Tori Spelling is?
I don't know.
Oh man, damn! You never watched Beverly Hills 90210?
He's too young.
No, I never watched that.
23. Ah, come on, man.
He's way too young.
Fuck, dude. That was like my whole childhood.
Yeah, if I had time to watch TV, I'd love that. I didn't have time.
It was this great show about this high school, and then there was this character named Tori Spelling, and then her name was Donna on the show, and she was hot, but then she was dating this guy named David Silver. He was kind of a nerd. She was a virgin, and then she's married to Dean, and they have 6 kids. So so anyway,
I'm not familiar with it. Sorry.
So now I know before you were in college and you were balancing college with training. Are you training full time now?
Yeah, training full time. I deferred from university for 6 months.
Good.
About 3 years ago. So I guess probably not going back now. But it was just, you never know in this sport. So you just got to have options open. So I was at university studying, but I think I believe I have what it takes, and to be able to train full time, it's hard to commit to anything else. And I believe that I can get to the top. So I stopped the university and just went for my dream, and it's working out now. So yeah, I'm happy.
Do you have to get a day job at all, or no?
No, I don't. I live at home, so I'm fortunate in that way. I don't have to pay a mortgage. I don't have little kids to pay for.
You're a professional. You're a 23-year-old professional athlete living at home. Dude, you're killing my whole fucking vibe right now. This is what? Do you have really? I mean, do you have curfew? Like, what is this? Really?
No curfew. In Australia, it's different. A lot of people don't leave home until they're 25, 26.
What about when you want to bang your girlfriend? Like, what do you do?
Oh, there's ways around that. You can sort it out.
You put the music real loud?
Yeah, just things like that.
Nice.
Yeah, but no, there's no day job. I know a lot of fighters do have to work day jobs. I know Damian Brown, man, he's a warrior.
Yeah.
He'd probably be back at work already, working as a prison guard early morning.
Wow.
Don't know how he does it. Is beyond me. And a lot of other fighters are in the same boat as well. But the sport is getting bigger, and it will get there eventually. The day where hopefully no fighters have to work a day job. And like I said, I'm fortunate enough. I don't have to pay mortgage or rent or anything like that, so I can just bank it all and hopefully get a house.
Does your dad, like when your dad's in your corner, was he ever like, put your right hand up and also take out the trash?
Yeah, pick up your socks.
Does he ever?
I've still got the chores that I need to do. Yeah, that's part of it.
That's amazing. Good for you, man. Yeah. You live at home. You're in the UFC. You're ranked. What are you ranked now?
I think I was 49 after this fight.
Look at,
sure.
all right, you're getting up there, man. There you go, 48 more motherfuckers to
climbing.
go. I like it. Well, listen, you're a good kid. Don't ever change, man.
No, I'll just do my thing and be myself.
Well, thanks for coming on the podcast, and keep it up, man.
Say hi to mom and dad for us.
Congrats on the big win.
I will do. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Take care, man.
All right.
I wonder
What?
what would have become of me if I were able to stay at home till I was 23.
Really?
Yeah, I was out at 16.
You were a bouncer, right?
I did everything. I was a bouncer. I sold lemonade. I was a truck driver. I've done everything.
How did you pay your rent at 16?
I had a job, man.
In Canada?
Consumers distributing.
Wow.
It was like catalog shopping.
Did your parents-
catalog shopping ever big here in America?
No.
Like you just have like a warehouse you go to, and there's like catalogs all out that have everything that they carry in the store, and you fill it out, and you go to the counter, and we go and pick it and give it to you.
Like IKEA?
It's kind of like IKEA, but everything is like
IKEA meets
behind.
Skyfall?
Like a which? That sandwich place that you just fucking like. I hate that place. I don't want to have to like make my own sandwich. Like I want to just tell you what I want,
Yeah.
and then
Wait,
do
you
the
make
work.
your own sandwich?
Just kinda
you
like-
get a card, right?
Yeah,
you
you
fill in
fill
what
out
you
the card.
want, and you
So what's Curtis's number? We gotta call Curtis. Curtis is
Should
fighting.
should I just air it on the?
No. Just,
I know.
We got some farts going on here. Someone might poop in the octagon here.
so yeah, that's crazy. So wait, do your parents want you out of the house? Were you a bag?
No. My mom passed away when I was 15, and so I.
Sorry to hear that.
And my dad and I weren't close, so I just I kicked around with my sisters for a little bit, and then I just moved out on my own.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then did you finish high school?
I was working in a bar, and I needed 1 credit for my grade 12, which I promised my mom I would get. So I was working in a bar at nights, and I'd go and I got my 1 credit, and I got my grade 12.
When did you start acting?
When I was 19.
Took an acting class or?
No, I just wanted to do it, and I said, okay, I'm gonna do this. So I bullshitted.
How'd you learn the technique and the lines?
Bullshitted a resume, and I got a headshot, and I got an agent, and
You got cast in TV shows and
extra work. Started with extra work, and then one-liners, and then an episodic here and there, movie of the week here and there, movie, and then just build up commercials,
wow,
voiceovers. Yeah, so
And you were one of the biggest stars in Canada.
no, I wouldn't say biggest stars in Canada, but
You were
I
a big
was
star in
definitely
Canada.
I was a big fish in a small pond.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Is this Curtis?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you're on the MMA Roasted podcast. I can barely hear you. Curtis?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you a little better. All right, can you hear him?
I can hear him.
So how's it going, man? You got a big fight this Sunday. Congrats on making it to the big time.
Thank you very much, sir.
Now, how excited are you?
Oh, man, I'm overjoyed. It's about time. But, I know a lot of people are like, oh, can you believe it? I'm like, yeah, I can believe it, man. I've been waiting for this for pretty much my whole life, especially these last 5 years of being a pro. And I knew I was going to get here, so the excitement is like, it's like I'm ready to go out there and beat them up and get paid.
Yeah, no, I'm excited, man. I've been following your career since the LFA and since Bellator, and this has been a long, hard road, man. This is not the Sage Northcutt journey. You've taken your lumps and you keep going, man. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Now, Thiago Alves is a very scary man with a lot of big wins on his resume. He was supposed to fight someone else, right? You're stepping in on short notice?
Yes, sir. He was supposed to fight Zach Cummings.
Zach Cummings, right?
Same weekend I fought.
Yeah. Now, how did that happen? Like, did Sean Shelby call your manager? Did they call your gym, your agent?
Yeah, they called my manager, and one of my coaches always makes a joke. I'm like the hardest person to get a hold of. My phone's always on for charging. And he's like, yo, when they call, we're not even going to be able to get a hold of you to tell you. And that's exactly what happened. They were trying to call me for a little bit before they finally got a hold of me to let me know the news. But it was, Thiago, I feel like he used to be scary.
Yeah.
I don't think like he's that scary anymore. I just feel like, well, now, you know, I'm at a point where I can go out there and I can get people anybody in the world, and I'm confident in my abilities. And you know, the sport is it's changing. So the guys that used to be scary aren't so scary anymore. Shout out to you, shout out.
Right. Now, where do you train? Do you train over at a Rain or what gym in California do you train at?
I'm training over at CSW at Combat Fishing Wrestling in Fullerton, California.
Is that with Josh Barnett?
He's no longer with us. Ben Jones is the head coach over there now, and Eric Paulson still comes teaches the classes and does some work with the pros.
Right. No, got it. Now, what was now you're on a 6-fight win streak since your last loss. What was the change? Like what was the thing that you just kind of? What was the big change that you go out and you lose to Eddie Mendez at the Lights Out Bash fights at the Sportsman's Lodge, and then since then you've won 6 in a row. How does that happen?
This change over to CFW has made paid dividends. Ben Jones, the connection that me and him have as far as coaching and fighters, it's on another level. He's with Serbian, so he's now he's on there. And I'm not worried about my team is perfect. I'm not worried about my conditioning. I'm not worried about my skill set. I know if I go out there and do exactly what I'm trained to do, the guys over at CSW are preparing me to do so. So that's the whole thing. I switch my whole mindset to go out there and hurt and finish people.
Yeah.
And my team is like I owe my team everything.
That's great, man. I mean,
and also the Eddie Mendez loss, me feeling like that if you're gonna watch that fight on YouTube and turn it off, you would think I won. If you didn't listen to the judges, it's insane how I lost that. How they said I lost that fight.
right.
He took me down to the first round, so I gave him the first round. But the second and third round, they pretty much said that this little guy outstruck me.
Right. What's your background?
I grew up wrestling. I've been wrestling for about 25 years.
Wow.
I just choose to use the reverse. I love the strikes. I like head kicks. I'm fast. I'm long. I'm dynamic. So I kind of use my wrestling in reverse. And yeah, with the exception of a couple guys, probably been taken down 3 times in all the fights.
Now, do you have your post-fight victory speech already said or what?
Oh yeah. I'm just trying to decide exactly who I want to call out.
Who are you thinking about?
I would love to beat up Weendawg. I like the Randy Brown fight. Max Payne. Man,
You don't like New Yorkers, huh? Yeah.
It's just like the guys that got called up before me. I just want to let them know that they called the wrong people up too soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, man. I'm so excited for you, bro. Have you ever been to Texas before?
Yes, I've been to Houston. This is my first time in Austin.
The women there are insane. Are you single? Curtis,
The campus, so I'm sure it's gonna be pretty awesome.
are you single?
What was that?
Are you single?
No.
Oh, it sucks because the women would love you. A good-looking black guy like you, those thick white girls. Oh man, in Texas, they'd be all over you, man. You might want to break up with them. You might want to dump your girl before you go there because you could. You've been having a really good time. I'm telling you, dude. This is not the time to be in a relationship. And it's February. It's like Black History Month. Are you crazy? You're fighting.
He's already making Black History on Sunday.
Curtis, good luck, man. Good luck, brother.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. You guys have a good one.
We're all gonna be rooting for you.
Thanks,
care, man.
Curtis.
Take care.
All right.
Take care. All right, so that was Curtis Millender.
Millender.
The Millender. That was a great connection, by the way. That was. Thank you for saying that up, CB Gold.
Dude, it's my fault.
What was he under a bus?
That might be his way to get to Texas.
He was like hitchhiking in the fucking like a well or something.
He's in an underpass.
That was the worst connection we've ever had. Thanks, CB, for that hookup with Curtis. For one guy, CB gets to the podcast, we can't hear him. So.
No, every time I get somebody on the podcast, I get yelled at for something.
I know. And I'm happy for that guy. It's his first time in the UFC, and it seems like it's well overdue. So what do you got?
He earned it, man. He earned it.
So what do you got coming up, Joe?
Oh God!
This Saturday, dude.
His video on X videos.
If you're in the greater Los Angeles area, come on down to the Ice House this Saturday. We're celebrating Joey Diaz's 55th birthday party.
He's only 55.
Yeah,
Is he gonna make it?
He's 55.
I think he was born in 1855.
Come on down, say what's up, get a Weendawg autograph, and
You're giving away autographs?
I mean, there might be fans from the podcast who want my autograph.
Are you performing on the show?
I hope so.
You don't know if you're performing?
It's in the second stage.
So you're gonna be in the audience.
Maybe I might be
signing autographs.
So you're advertising a show where you're sitting in the crowd for.
Will you sign a picture of your butthole that they printed out?
If they can find the actual video or picture, I'll sign it.
And CD, what do you got?
Nothing much, man. Tattoo shop, Graffiti Pals Tattoo.
He owns a tattoo shop, by the way.
Oh, dude. Oh, we have to talk.
Yeah, I was gonna talk to you after the show.
No, we have to talk
yeah, man.
tattoos, man.
Graffiti Pals Tattoo, 4427 Lancashire Boulevard. I will be off for the next week because I'm leaving town, but come on in, get some tattoo work done, and mention MMA Roasted and get 10% off your tattoo.
And Dean, what do you got coming up?
Just daddy duty, man.
And then your wife has a TV show, right?
She has a TV show. She's going to do the season 2 of it. It's called The Look. It's a beauty competition show, like Chopped, but it's all about fashion and beauty and hair and all that stuff.
What network?
That I don't know. Bad husband.
That's okay. All right.
And
I know people that watch it. People are always like, "Oh, I watch Tori Spelling's show."
What's the show?
Well, it's called
Good Look.
The Look. The first season hasn't aired yet.
Okay, I know people that worked on it.
But it turned out really, really well that they're going to go with season
awesome.
2. Yeah. And me, I'm just on hashtag Daddy's doing it. I'm just on dad duty, man, and loving it.
Nice.
Having a blast with all these monkeys.
Nice.
And is this your first podcast with a child on it? An
Yes.
infant?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Well,
so
no, I've had these two guys.
we made
Tyler's kid was on a while
and
ago.
Bubba's kid, but not like this.
Not like this.
Yes.
Okay, it's an infant. So
Yes.
we made a little history here.
So CB's looking up the Look. I will be at the Joke Joint in Houston tomorrow night, Thursday and Friday. Saturday night at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood. In Laguna Beach, I'm at the Skyloft.
Love Laguna Beach.
February 27th. And then the South Point Casino, March 2nd. Syracuse, New York, March 8th, 9th, and 10th, and 11th at the Funny Bone in Syracuse. And then Portland, Oregon. Actually, Sacramento, California, Laughs Unlimited, April 4th. Comedy Palace in San Diego, April 13th and 14th. And then Portland, Oregon, Harvey's, April 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th. So, and then Off the Hook Comedy Club in Naples, Florida, May 3rd to the 6th. Did you figure out what network it was?
No, the only one I could find was a show from 2010, and I don't think that's hers.
Okay, so it hasn't aired yet. So there you go.
It's a great show.
You're off the hook.
I'll be back.
Yes.
To announce my comedy debut.
Yes, we can't
here
wait.
on
And if you
MMA
want to get
Roasted,
beat up
and
on the
I'll let you
ice.
know, I'll let you know. Yeah, if you want to come on and play hockey,
Against you and Justin Bieber.
me and Justin Bieber will we'll kick the shit
That's
out of
awesome. That's so cool. Is it like a celebrity hockey league or something?
you. No.
Who's the guy that
We
sued?
should make
Didn't
a
that guy
TV show
sue?
about it.
Got checked and like an actor got like hit really hard and then sued the other guy. It was like all over the news.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
to check it out, but not.
There was some actor that.
Sue somebody for getting checked. That's just a pussy move.
Yeah.
So is suing somebody for throwing a boomerang at you.
It was like, was it Colby? Yeah. Actor sued hockey
Who
game.
it was?
It was like all over the news.
Was it here?
I'm pretty sure it was either in New York or LA. Alan Thicke collapsed for playing ice hockey in Burbank. No.
That's not it.
No, that's not it. That's,
Sued by real life Kramer. Alan Thicke. Actor. I don't know who it was. It was some ex-tough. John Scott's a natural. I don't know who it is. Steve Moore. Who knows? Anyway, listen. Thank you for listening to our podcast. Take care. Also, if you're going to buy something from Amazon, you go to Amazon, go to adamhunter.com, click on the Amazon link on my website, and then buy from Amazon because I make money on that. So so go to Adam Hunter first, and you're supporting MMA Roasted. Yes. Thank you.
Trap sonsen, trap sonsen, trap dansen. Түүний сонсдог хөгжим дур булаан. Даадar стуулан дур булаа мууруулаа.